love in the time of Hydra, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 10th anniversary podcast. Woo! Today we're taking it back to April 12th. 2016. On this day 10 years ago, the top song was, you guessed it, Work by Rihanna featuring
It's my
Drake.
least favorite part of the podcast is when
Should I
you
cut
keep
it?
no, because then it's gonna when it gets taken over, I'll be happy and
good.
excited. But like, oh, how annoying! I don't even have a problem with that song. I'm just sick of it.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what happens in that song.
I don't know either.
But it's a new movie. Top movie at the box office was Melissa McCarthy's The Boss.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a little mixed it up with that one. This is interesting. The painting Judith Beheading Holofernes, believed to be from the Italian painter Caravaggio, was found in an attic in France.
Wow.
This is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
I liked that little bit. A British study showed that LSD might be useful in treating mental disorders.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that was 10 years ago?
Yeah, that was 10 years ago. And then, you know what? I wrote some politics stuff, but I don't care. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't blame you.
You know what? I think after a while, I really feel like we're just going to ignore that part of
That's okay. We could talk about songs, movies. That's it.
Just ignore our history. That's always worked out well. Saoirse Ronan turned 22. Nicholas Brendan turned 45. R.I.P.
R.I.P. man.
Claire Danes turned 37. And my boy, Andy Garcia, turned 60.
Love him.
I know, but the most important thing that happened on this date 10 years ago was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode Paradise Lost aired. Hi, I'm Jamie Girac, and I'm here with my co-host, boyfriend, and level 3 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, Pony Paletta. Hi, Tony.
Call me Pony?
No, I didn't.
I heard Pony Toledo.
All right.
But that's okay. Hi, I'm Pony, and thank you guys for watching. Thanks for listening. Decided to be doing another one of these.
Oh, this is great. We've got one of our favorite people on the planet.
That's true.
As our guest today. Like top tier favorite people. Ever heard of Free Space?
Yeah.
Ever heard of a podcast called...
I should have wore my shirt.
Oh, no. Damn. You really messed up my flow just now, though.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Ever heard of a podcast called Face Hero? I sure have. Our guest today is the one, the only, Aaron Perine.
Hello, friends.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey.
Hi. Oh, man. I'm dying. Huh?
Soaking it in. How you feeling about the news of 10 years ago?
That was wild to hear. I might be with Tony where I'm like, oh no, not stuff I remember vividly being, like 10 years ago. That's terrible.
Yeah.
The art world stuff is fine. You can keep doing that. That sounds great.
Yeah. I love when stuff like that comes up, because usually it's like, here's what's going on with this conflict. Here's who got bombed. Like, guess what? Someone got bombed every day. Like every single day, there's some kind of thing. So it really is hard to narrow it down to here's some fun stuff that happened 10 years ago.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm an honorary member of the Pink Tony Club. I'm excited to be here.
Ooh, that's a shirt. Let me write that down.
No.
I love it. That's really good. Aaron, it's been a while since we've had you on. I looked it up, and you were last on November 2024.
Damn.
To talk the season 2. I know, season 2, episode 9, Ye Who Enter Here, which was a real juicy part of season 2. How was it jumping back in? You're like, all right, more than a year later.
It is really interesting because I'm like, wow, this story is in a very different phase of where we were last time I was here. I'm very, very curious at how Tony is experiencing this ride, because I'm like, wow, buddy, a lot of stuff has happened since the last time I was in this chair.
I'm experiencing it in a variety of colors. They'll tell you that.
Oof. Well, I'm excited to talk about it. Let's see. Well, I want to first, as always, say hi to everybody in the chat. It's good to see so many familiar faces, and by faces, I mean names, because none of you have actual profile pictures of yourself. I just imagine what you all look like. I want you to know that. I just have kind of blurry guesses of what your faces all look like. And you're all so attractive. I have some bad news though. I teased a really juicy guest for next week, and unfortunately they had to drop out. So we're back to square one on who next week's guest is going to be. It's also not going to be on Sunday, because Tony and I will be in Florida. It'll be sometime between April 22nd and April 25th, TBD, while I try to figure out who the guest is. So keep an eye out for that on Instagram. We appreciate you. I've also, like, every week I see you guys in the chat being like, when's Chloe coming on? Yes, obviously we want to have Chloe Bennett on our podcast. And I will tell you, I originally thought about trying to reach out to her reps for the season 3 finale. Because we want to get somebody juicy for the big final episodes. But but we know she's gonna be in France filming The White Lotus. So there's no reason. I'm not gonna bother reaching out because that's like definitely gonna be a no. But we've got a lot of podcast years left. Like, the goal is to get everybody on this podcast.
Yeah.
So don't you worry. I know what I'm doing mostly.
And we've been doing a pretty good job. Get off our backs.
No, we appreciate you all. Tony, do you want to tell the people the rules of the podcast?
Yeah. So if you're going to write anything spoilery in the comments, just put spoiler alert ahead of it. That helps protect people like me who are watching the show for the first time week by week. And hopefully there are people joining live who are doing the same thing. I like having people on the same ride as me. I want them out here. But yeah, tag your spoilers, or producer Maria will stab you with a knife she forged herself.
That's true. We really love and respect you, Maria, for those skills that you have.
Doing some forging today, in fact.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I want to know. Do you guys think I was fucking joking when I said that Maria forges?
Starting off small.
It's
making a little copper plate for our door because it doesn't actually close. So we need the little cool door plate thing.
To be able to do that in your own home is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I had those skills, but I'm never going to gain them. Also, I want to plug the fact that I'm going to be on New Rockstar's Road to Doomsday Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. Was very honored to be asked to be the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. expert.
Goddamn right. Who else are they going to get?
Who can say? But me and a friend of the pod, Gina Ippolito, talked about all 7 seasons. Tony, you cannot watch that.
I will not.
You cannot watch that because we talked all spoilers.
Yeah.
And I just want to show off that I've made some fancy nails. Look at this. I got a little shield nail. And I just want to show you all.
That's why they got her on there.
Yeah, it was for the nails. Anyway, Paradise Lost was written by George Kitson and Charlotte Oliver. This was both of their first episodes, but they will continue writing for the show through the rest of the series. I haven't gotten a hold of George yet, but I am mutuals with Charlotte's husband, James. And James and Charlotte wrote a lot of episodes together down the line. So I've already talked to him, like, he knows I want the two of them on together as a couple eventually. I don't think have we had a couple on?
We've had more than one guest at a time, but I don't know if we've ever had a couple.
Like a couple at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that could one day. I think I think their first episode together is like early season 4, so we've got like a year for that. But or later season 4. That's that business. Oh, and the episode was directed by Wendy Stanzler. This was her first of 3 episodes. She directed a bunch of TV, including an episode of Dollhouse.
Wicked.
One that we have not gotten to yet. It's a season 2 episode, and that's all my business. Aaron. I'd love to hear what you thought about this episode. As an episode of TV, just as an episode of S.H.I.E.L.D., what were your thoughts?
So I immediately, when we get this title, I'm like, oh no, we're in for some sketchy times here, because you can't name things after Milton and then nothing happens. It's not like it was gonna be like, yes, the gang goes and plays chess. But there is a lot of chess in the episode, weirdly enough. I did enjoy a little bit of espionage, a little bit of our S.H.I.E.L.D. friends trying to get up off the mat and sort of get on the offensive, as a lot of stuff has happened. Like, a lot of things happen in quick succession. Everybody's seeing ghosts. Everybody has a lot of baggage they have to deal with. I loved our little diversion out in is it one of the Dakotas?
Yeah, the Badlands in South Dakota.
Yeah, and the Badlands. It was a very, very funny. Like, I was like, man, oh man, more TV needs landmines as plot details. This and what Doctor Who season 2 recently are like the last 2 things. I'm like, yep, and it's always a good episode. So I just enjoyed that. I thought it was really interesting. It leaves you on a massive cliffhanger. I feel like the last 2 episodes I've been here for have been privy to some pretty big cliffhanger endings here. Which I'm like, I don't know why Jamie schedules me for this, y'all. I have no idea. What about my vibe?
It's a trick to make you be like, maybe I should watch the next one, and just like
get it in your back.
Which I did.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm very, very, very curious. And like, also I laugh because like this show, I wish Tumblr was more like healthy like it was years ago. Because I'm like, the dark academia dripping off of anything in that mansion. I'm like, why have I never seen this on anybody's mood board before? This is silly.
I like that. That's a good point. Tony, what do you think of this one?
I think this is a dumb episode. I didn't like it. Like, there's so many characters and twists and shit going on in here. Like, Ward's peak douchebaggery. I don't give a fuck about those little young Republican Gideon brothers assholes in their stupid ass house. Like, they can kiss my ass. Like, I don't care about this. Like, I'm like, the one thing is like, oh, okay, like let's get this secret warriors.
Yeah.
Like, let's do that. I'm keen on that. But like, you know, May and Mark Dacascos like going at it. That was awesome. So, but like, I got a lot to say about this one.
Yeah. My thing is like it's I think better than 2 episodes ago. I think it's better than Watch
I do
Dogs.
too. Yeah.
And also the thing it's very clearly like a bridge episode.
Mhm.
Like Space Time was so good, and next week's episode I will say is a good episode.
Cool.
So it is like kind of like bridging the thing. Like Aaron says, it's a cliffhanger episode. I don't hate this one, but yeah, it's fine. It's like whatever. How many times do I have to say that this is my least favorite season?
I know, right? And like it was this episode. Like,
Yeah.
okay, Watch Dogs was kind of a dud of an episode, and then as we were watching this one, I'm like, okay, and then I was like, I remember the words of Jamie ringing in my ear of like, this isn't like the best
Yeah.
season.
And like, sorry to like we all the worst episodes. Like we bring in our close friends.
It's safe.
Like Dana was 2 weeks ago. Like we're just making our favorite people suffer. But yeah, the Malik flashbacks. Like, but we get to see Whitehall, and I love Reed Diamond.
I did like
I
him.
love
Yeah.
seeing Reed Diamond, even though he is an evil Nazi. It's like Reed Diamond rules. So the actor, not the character.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. We have our opinions. They're not super positive. And well, Aaron was pretty positive.
Aaron was
but
polite.
yeah, Aaron was polite. That is a way to describe it. Polite. Okay, so we do start with a 1970 flashback to the Gideon Malik and his brother Nathaniel. Their dad had just died. The best Tony commentary was when he sees the young Malik. He goes, "He needs a well."
It's like, yeah, what young Malik needs is a well. Like, let's do some flashbacks of some other asshole. And this is the other thing that ties into this is we get, you know, Ward in here, but Ward is like a new entity, right?
Mhm.
But I'll wait until later to talk about this. Like, it's this whole, all right. It's Malik's brother. And so like even when Ward is like a primordial monster, he's still dealing with brother trauma. And I cannot deal with that.
That's really funny. You're
It's
right.
ridiculous.
You're right. Aaron, how did you feel when you're like a flashback? Were you worried that maybe you missed something? Because this was the first
I was
time we
like,
saw
wait a
them
second,
young.
whoa. And
Yeah.
then once we got rolling, I was like, oh, okay, sure. But also with Tony, where I'm like, why are we mixing Bible allegories? There's like so much brother in here, and it's like that doesn't happen in that part of Genesis. Why are we talking about that? I'm so confused. But it is very, very, very funny. Also, one of the commenters, Defrosted, said that he looks like Squidward being mad about Malik betraying his brother, which is very, very funny to me. I do not, dang it, now I'm gonna think about his handsome Squidward. Like,
I know. It's the best fandom name. Like Squid Ward is really a good name.
I didn't even pick up on it.
Now you've seen him be Squiddy.
People were telling me, I was getting the whispers of Squidward, and I was like, I don't really get it because he's grouchy.
Yeah.
But now I do.
Yeah, because he looks like a
he
squid
plays
face.
the clarinet one time, Tony.
That's
Yeah. Writing in my notes, like every time he comes up, I'm writing something different. I'm like Ward, Squidward. I don't know. I can't remember if they've said the word hive yet.
I think so.
Yeah, I think okay, like or if I just keep saying it, like it's like he's not really Ward, but Ward's in there. Hive is the real moniker, you know. But I do constantly write different things in my notes. And then speaking of Ward, I actually laughed out loud at this, which is a moment I wasn't supposed to laugh out loud, which is Coulson angrily looking at the picture of Ward.
Looking at Neo Ward.
Yeah. Neo Ward.
Yeah, that's bad. Bad outfit.
But I do think it was dope when his like angry fist glowed.
That was wicked. I was like, can't wait to see that thing do something.
Yeah.
Crush that chest again.
Yeah. Whew. I really like the line, Aaron. I want your thoughts on this when Coulson says we're only fixing problems we created, because that's such a TV thing. Like that's like how TV works.
That's really funny.
is meta commentary on the entire MCU inadvertently. Like, hey, yo, this is all our fault. We're going around fixing stuff that we kind of broke. My bad. Yeah. And the conversation, poor Coulson being sad, I'm just like, it is like an era of like, it's hard for me to take this supremely seriously. It is kind of difficult at certain moments. I'm like, I'm supposed to be feeling more than this, and I'm probably not. But maybe it's because we're from the modern era. Maybe it's not because we're watching it as it's going on.
That's a good point. I do like when May says, plus side, maybe I'll get the chance to kill him too.
Kill him.
Like everyone wants a piece of Ward.
I like that. I like that Coulson keeps being like, go to like to him and to her and to Fitz, and they're all like, nah, it's cool.
Yeah.
we got no problem with this. But I do like this revelation of Coulson of like, oh, that was he did win. Me killing him win and made him more powerful. So it's like, what did he say? I knew this would come back to haunt me, but I didn't expect it to come back and haunt me.
Yeah, I like that whole aspect of because it comes down to like, again, like the over arc isn't great, but like the writing is still juicy of these characters.
Yeah,
like that they know what they're doing in that regard. Then okay, they've got the melted skeleton. Fitzsimmons is kind of trying to like figure it out. I like that even Mac calls Ward a pain in the ass because like Mac and Ward have not really ever intersected. And I like that even Mac's like, God, this guy, fuck him.
He's got good instincts.
Listen, if a person causes a bunch of problems for your friends, you're like, I don't like that guy either. Like, forget that dude. I've never met him, but forget that dude.
Yep.
How did they make the skeleton? Like, did they just cover it in jam? I had so many questions about this corpse.
That's a good question. This is like a good time to say like we're getting the art director on soon.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's more props. Like
that's more props, but that's under the umbrella of art direction.
Exactly. We'll have to like we're definitely gonna have to ask a lot of questions and then be like, who do we talk about about who makes those kinds of skeletons and stuff.
Yeah, it's like I would love to get a greater understanding of all the different departments under that person's department, and then ask some very specific questions of like, how do you do that?
Yeah. I believe we have him on for episode 19. So a few weeks from now. That's gonna be a good one. Also another good Daisy line, sure is creepy like Ward. Like they're all just really going after Ward.
As they should.
Then we're back to the old Malik mansion. Malik says he saw his death by the hands of Hive, which is kind of what we assumed last week when our old friend Bjorn touched him. Bjorn, and just in case you're still listening to the podcast, gosh, were you a great guest.
Oh, we had so much fun with Bjorn Johnson.
Last week was I loved last week's episode.
Yeah.
And then I just wrote my comments, yay, Whitehall flashback, because I really like seeing that character.
I like seeing it too. I like tying him into the period. I like that he's still in prison, still speaking with a German accent. He hasn't quite figured out how to be Mr. Anonymous white guy in a shadowy room. So yeah, cool.
Yeah. One thing that I really like about this, that even though it's like kind of executed in like a slightly boring way, Aaron, I feel like you'll have thoughts on this. I really like the idea of Hydra, like science versus religion even being an issue within the walls of Hydra.
That is cool.
I think that's a cool concept. What did you think about that, Aaron?
Yeah, it like kind of gives them a little bit of like needed depth because they're always just like bad guys. Like Coles has a joke later about like they're not even like doing the fun like bad guy stuff to like hide that they're bad, just oil. So like there would be some people who are in it just for like the business parts and other benefits, and there are other people who are true believers who are like, oh no, I believe all of this wild stuff. So I did kind of appreciate that, and that in that you could conceivably not believe and then just keep getting lucky and then be like, holy crap, all of it's real. Oh no. So that
would be me. Because like I would, if I was Hydra, even if I was like full-blown evil Nazi Hydra, I wouldn't believe in the magic like of a religious monster being somewhere. So if I was in that room and like dude walked up, I'd be like, oh fuck. I'm done. I'm cooked. Because I would be team science for sure.
You would, yeah. You would have been a Whitehall disciple.
I would have been a Nazi, but in general, but you know, in that reality, I would have been a scientist.
Write in the comments if you guys think Jamie would have been a Nazi.
So drop your thoughts.
Planet X Jamie.
Yeah. So Daisy and
Oh,
Lane
yeah.
go to the Badlands. They meet this guy James. Daisy steps in a landmine. I really like that scene. I like quaking all the landmines. That's really fun.
That is
Did
very
you
cool.
like that?
I did. I think that James is a pretty fun,
Mhm.
fun character, fun guest star. Although I feel like this is when the actual Fox Marvel properties started overlapping with the Marvel properties because that dude's whole look is based on Logan. Like that dude is just out here dressed exactly like Hugh Jackman Logan.
Interesting.
His whole
Okay.
hair, his whole face. I'm like, oh yeah, that's you watch the X-Men, dude.
But the personality is so different.
It is.
And he's Australian. Which I guess technically,
I said what I said.
yeah, technically. One thing to me about this whole like James's thing is that he wants the Terrigenesis, he wants to turn, and it's like he just hasn't heard about the fish oil thing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense
Or that
because he
Najim died.
He does live in the middle of nowhere, so
Right.
it is plausible that he didn't know Jaim died. He doesn't like know who Daisy is, so like obviously like it makes sense. But it's like, dude, all you have to do is get a TV, and you could have powers any day. You go to the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
They just leave him not to know that. It's just like, well, man, you're kind of a jerk, so we're just gonna leave you here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Does he get channels out there in the middle of the wasteland? Like, I assume
Right?
there's TV.
I don't think so.
Well, he mustn't have TV because then he would know about that the Inhumans are spreading.
Yes.
God, it must be so boring.
I don't know.
What
Yeah.
are you doing out there? No TV? No neighbors?
We would die.
Yeah, we sure would. We would just step on the landmines on purpose.
We would just be like, this is it. Hold hands and take a leap.
Ooh, so we've got another flashback. The brothers learn that their father cheated the ceremony, which is like I like the thing with the rock. Like it's an interest. I think it's like interesting. It's just not interesting. I don't know if that makes sense. But
it's interesting in the like. I do like the deepening of Malik. Like I think it's good in that respect. Because last episode we saw him. As we talked about with Bjorn, we saw Powers Booth for the first time in this show being afraid, and being afraid of Ward or of Hive or Squidward or whatever we're calling him now. But like he and now is the time to sort of get into his past and realize that fear is a part of his being. It goes further back.
Yeah. Aaron, what do you think about the that when Hive comes in, he reveals his Squidward face? What do you think about that?
It always makes me laugh. Like one of my favorite things about Asian shows when we deploy CGI, when we deploy this wild use of the budget for the entire season, and it did for network television at the time. It looked okay. I mean, I find it funnier that like all of these actors have to just be like, all right, now you're seeing this weird squid creature reveal, react to that, whatever you think it is, and a decent job. I don't know, like. I don't expect, and when this was on, I'd be the same thing. People would be like, this doesn't look good. They say the same thing about the CW shows. And I'd be like, it's not going to look like freaking Iron Man, guys. Like, what?
It's network TV.
This runs on ABC. Like I don't even know what else was in the block alongside Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. back in that, like this week. But I'm sure like the budget of whatever that show was used to animate his like squiddly head.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, it does.
Mark Kolpak for the win. I do think it's really funny though that the Hydra people, that when he walks in, they're just like, you're Grant Ward. Like, I'm not like,
well, there was
the Hydra people are like, fuck this guy.
What made it extra funny to me was like Powers Booth sitting there looking at a fire, and like everybody's over there just waiting. There's like 10 dudes in suits and like waiting for him to start a meeting. And his daughter comes over and is like, man up, you got to go over there. He's like, oh, you're right. And then he's like, ladies and gentlemen, and starts talking to him. And then Ward interrupts him. And I'm like, you were just standing in a shadow during that whole, like, there's like 18 people in this room, and you were just standing there waiting to surprise everybody and interrupt Powers Booth's sentence. And it's just he's still so Ward. Everything about him is still so Ward, even though he's not Ward. Yeah, it's consistent. And it cracks me up.
Have either of you read Paradise Lost?
No,
I haven't either.
Long time ago. Long time ago. Like 10 years ago.
Is it in your brain enough that you can explain why they chose that? Why you think they chose that, I should say.
So you got a lot of like garden imagery in here. So it's about the temptation of Adam and Eve by the serpent, and then Satan being cast down into hell and assuming his kingdom in there, as opposed to serving the Lord. You know what I mean? So like you've got like this sort of loophole branching where it's like, hey man, you're gonna go down here, you're just gonna be down here, I don't have to worry about you anymore, stop messing with people. And he's like, well, what if I don't mess with the people? What if they just mess with themselves? Check. And he's a big loophole guy, that serpent. So it's funny that you would hide. And also their father is a theatrical character to freaking hide it in Paradise Lost, like signpost, like, oh, of course. And that's why this very German man was like, yes, a fellow thespian like me. Like the only two of them that can read were like, oh, of course, this is how you hide that I'm cheating the entire time. So you've got that kind of stuff, the casting the stone down into an abyss like imagery. I was like, okay, all right, we're doing a little light Milton. But I am so confused about like the brother symbolism parallels, because I'm like, that's not how that story goes. It's very interesting to just graft other Bible story that everybody knows onto this one, so we can kind of do that, because Milton isn't up and down the good book, but it borrows heavily and influences our popular consciousness of it.
Yeah,
interesting, cool. Thank you. I didn't know some of that. I could assume, like they're doing something very specific here.
Right.
So that's good. All right, so back to them and James' trailer.
Yeah.
So he offers up this orb that looks just like the one from Guardians.
Yeah, it does.
Like we watched literally Guardians last night, and I was like, that looks exactly the same.
Very, very similar.
And it's a Kree orb.
Yep.
And
well, so was a Kree.
Yeah, they're both Kree orbs, but I guess it's just like they're just holding something different, because obviously Guardians is holding the Power Stone.
Yes.
So it's unclear if this orb has something inside of it.
I would imagine it does, just based on what I know from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I think that's cool. That's a handsome tie-in. Having that same object in the network show.
Prop work.
Props.
Yeah.
Top prop.
All right, we got to get somebody from props on this show. This is a new goal for me.
Is it Graham that is the name of the prop guy for the movies, MCU movies? We had him on the show 86 million years ago, Jamie, but I'm sure he designed that orb. I'm sure he.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
also,
I could.
I'm laughing at it being in this old Folgers canister. It's very funny to me as well. I'm like,
like
that's
Donnie's
what we hide it.
It's the Donnie's ass. Good night, sweet prince.
That's a Big Lebowski reference for those.
Don't get us on a roll. Quote Lebowski.
Okay, I think it's really funny when James is like, oh, did you tell her about that time you almost killed your girlfriend?
Dude, I don't give a fuck.
I know. I wrote in my notes, which is like, this is the worst thing I've ever thought. I'm like, oh wow, the first thing that's ever made him interesting is that maybe he's beat his girlfriend.
Maybe he beat his girlfriend and he got killed her in a crash. But he also, James has the best fucking dig at Lincoln. He says to Daisy, "Oh, you're the brains and you're the brawn. He's just the haircut."
Yikes.
It's so good, because that really does summarize how I feel about this character on this show.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's haircut. He's, you got it. You guys get it, right?
He made a joke about his beard too.
Did he?
Shot at his beard when they first walk up. It's like this hipster beard, and I'm like, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Yeah, sorry, Lincoln. It's a shame that him and Daisy are gonna get married.
Don't. Did you just spoil the show? Did you see that, Aaron? I go on this thing every fucking week and I say, tag your spoilers. You didn't put chat. Did you all see that shit? That is how much Jamie doesn't give a shit about Lincoln, that she has no qualms breaking our house rule of no spoilers.
I could be lying.
As if this is ridiculous.
The chat says Tony's crashing out.
I cannot believe you just threw that in there, because Okay, we can move on. This is outrageous.
All right, so we get the best part of the episode, which is May versus Kiara.
Yeah,
that's
incredible.
first of all great. I love that plan. Lock him in an empty room with May. That reveal, like that's dope.
Yeah, it's like you're fucked now. Like this was, he's always been so kind of cool and confident. So it's nice to see him sweat a little bit. And then of course, solid fight choreography. I mean, because Dacascos is the real deal.
Yeah,
like,
I kind of wish the fight had gone longer.
Yeah, me too.
It was a good fight, but like I could have watched it with the two of them. Like I wrote my notes, the two real ones.
Two real ones. Aaron.
All of Coulson's plans involve, we're just going to trap him in a room. We're just going to trap him in a room and he'll take care of himself.
I thought that too. Because like we've had like and thinking like this season we've had like 8 different people in that chamber. Like we need to pause this plot line to deal with another plot line for a little bit. Put them in the room.
Put them in the room.
So that somebody has that, like that was a prop auction thing. I think that
really.
Yeah.
I would kick it in there. I wanted to ask Aaron, were you a Double Dragon kid? You know Dacascos from that? Did you ever watch that shit?
Yeah.
That was for me too. Yeah.
Some good stuff. They get kidnapped Yara. They get, well, he's all tied up, and then Coulson had that line about stealing oil, not even trying to avoid the bad guy cliches.
Yep. Good shit.
It's all true. So Gemma is kind of explaining about like scary birds.
Yeah. I liked. She was weirdly giddy about this. Like, she's getting. It's nice to see her having some satisfaction doing science. It's been a minute.
Yeah, and like kind of realizing that Hive is like a parasite. Kind of a deal, which makes sense, and then we talked about it already a little bit. Coulson is struggling with his murder memory.
Yeah. I remember when that happened in the mid-season thing, and it was like the fucking dark. Coulson's a dark thing to do. So I'm glad it tracks. It tracks that he's now wrestling with it because you broke the rules, you paid the price. It's good stuff.
And I like what May's like, you've killed people before, and he's like, this is different. It is different. Like, he did it out of a personal anger.
Yeah, payback.
And like, even though Ward sucked, you're still gonna feel some feelings about crushing somebody to death.
Right, Aaron?
Wow, I've been painted into a corner. Even if they suck, they shouldn't be crushed to death.
Yeah, tell us if you think Aaron would crush somebody to death.
Yeah.
I do not I hope I'm never in that position that I have to decide that, but I guess I was like, he did kind of stink. I actually felt like the character was like, well, what else was I gonna do? We couldn't let him win. What, it was a no-win situation. You see what you do.
You see, Aaron would crush somebody to death, I think.
Put on a shirt.
So Hyde confronts Malik, basically gave the daughter the Paradise Lost book, really fucking with him, all that business. And then so we learned that Malik's brother Nathaniel is inside of Ward as well.
Don't say Ward and well in the same sentence.
You laughed at that. You did.
It's just it's just weird. I don't know, man.
Well, you know what's weird? And I didn't even consider this until I read a quote from Jed Whedon. So Hive kisses the daughter and kills her. And Jed was like, is it creepy that she's basically kissing her uncle? Yes. Her uncle's up in there.
Yeah.
And then he said, but she's caught up. This is the most powerful thing that she's been taught to worship her whole life. That's paying attention to her. If she took a step back, maybe she would think a little harder about it. But in the moment, she's just enthralled, which is fair. She's not. I wasn't thinking about the fact that she was kissing her uncle.
I did not think of that either.
But,
doesn't help the situation.
No, it doesn't. It does not. Really.
But
she never knew her uncle. In her defense.
Yeah. It's cool if you fuck your uncle if you didn't know him.
Yeah. You never met before.
That's chill.
Tony, Chad, do you think Tony would fuck his uncle? Tell us.
Yeah. We got a poll going on everybody today, guys, and they're all very chill.
Yeah. Aaron, did you think of that? Did that cross your mind?
I did. I was like, wait a second, isn't her uncle swimming around in this mass of old people? Isn't that a little weird? But I was like, okay, whatever. He just handed somebody else the steering wheel for that portion of it and then ripped it back, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Like Split.
Like Split.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. That's that. Yeah. Now that's what I need is to see Ward with multiple personalities.
So he kills Stephanie and he says, "Now you understand sacrifice." A little bit of a twist. Did you think that Powers Booth was dying this episode?
I did. Yes. I was like, it's time to say goodbye to Powers, but I'm so glad he didn't because like, I don't know that lady.
Yeah.
So I'm not like upset that she's gone. She's in 2 episodes, episode and a half, so it's like, that's fine. I'm glad that we're deepening Gideon Malik. So I'm glad he's still around and in like a new zone.
Do you both think, I'll ask you, Aaron, first, like if Malik, we know that he sacrificed his brother, basically. Do you think he would have died for his daughter, or do you think he actually would have saved himself if given the opportunity?
I thought he was gonna try and save himself, and that's why he was crying. He's like, "Man, I really am not strong enough to do this. I would have absolutely, and I'm just terrible." Like, Ward made the chili from his parents in front of him and licked his tears in front of him to this episode. That's what happened. It's the South Park thing. It's this goofy South Park thing.
Okay.
I made your parents into chili, and then I watched you eat it, and then he starts crying. Yeah, that's what he did. Unfortunately,
that's a classic.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I haven't watched South Park in a long time, but some real gems up in there.
Your tears are delicious.
Oh goodness. So Daisy and Lincoln are having a little romantic fight. Tell me what happened to your girlfriend. It is funny when she was like, "You can't just show me Mr. Perfect all the time." Like, when is he showing you Mr. Perfect?
I didn't catch that line. That's hilarious. She didn't hear the part where she was told he's just a haircut. That is so funny.
So we knew that Lincoln was an alcoholic, which I think is an interesting, because remember he went to see a sponsor last season?
Oh, yeah.
We did know this about, which I think is an interesting, I actually really like the idea that there's something empty inside you. You don't know what it is. You fill it with alcohol. Like that's an interesting character backstory. But I do think it's kind of funny that like they were teeing up like, maybe he beat his girlfriend, but it was like, oh no, she got in the car willingly knowing she was drunk. It was like, you know what I mean? Like they kind of made it like as bad without being bad as possible. Like it was like, well, it's kind of her fault. She got in the car. Like that's like kind of how they were playing it, I feel like. And while I do think this is an interesting backstory to have for somebody, I just don't care.
I don't think that the actor did a good job because like, okay, you've been given the script, and in the script is the monologue where you tell your deepest, darkest secret and your great guilt. And that's a trap for any actor to play the mood of that. And he just played the mood of that. And so I didn't really feel the interior of
it wasn't like
during
in the
that
drama
scene
when they're all sharing their
it was not that. It was like, and also like worth considering, that he has told this story. If he has a sponsor and was in AA, he's talked about this. He's talked about this a considerable amount. And he played it like this was the first time it's ever left his lips, and I'm like, I didn't like it.
All right, fair. Aaron, do you have any criticisms about the acting in this?
It really did have like a sorry to this woman, I don't know this woman, like type feel to it, because I was like, we're supposed to care more than I do, and that I don't think that's how this is supposed to land for real. I agree with Tony. Like maybe it's a little bit like the writers were like, man, we wrote everything, but there's nothing like under the surface to kind of gird it. Also, we have spent the entire episode calling him kind of a goober. He was like undermined before we ever got into that little segment where they were having the heart to heart. So that they didn't do him any favors. Lincoln did. They didn't do him any favors. They were like, you could shoot one lightning bolt this episode, and that's the coolest you're gonna get.
That was cool though. When James fell in that chair, I was like, oh shit! Like, he like really got thrown back.
Good stunt.
Yeah, that was a good stunt.
Weird. His back was right on the like the arm rest of the thing too. I was like, man, that hurt.
Yep.
Okay, so this is when Daisy reveals that when she touched Charles in the last episode, she saw that somebody on the team was going to die. So, Tony, taking bets. Who do you think it's going to be?
I don't even want to play. That's cheap tension. I don't like it. That's like, give me like, no, I'm not involved.
So do you not like that was like?
No,
okay.
I don't like the writers being like that. I think that's cheap. Just like someone's going to die. Oh, who's it going to be? Like, I don't want to play.
All right. Well, I mean, it's from the same thing they've been teasing since the beginning of this half of the season. That shot we saw from space with the cross, like that's what she saw again when she touched Charles. So we know that scene that we've already seen is what they're leading up to. Like they've been planting the seeds for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
here's the thing, though, Aaron. Is the future set? This is what we were talking about last week. And last week's answer was that it was, but
yeah.
is it? Maybe no one will die.
They have to try and change it, which, like, when you think about it, just sorry, Aaron, getting to last week's episode real quick again. Like they did change the future, they just didn't change the outcome. Like the action and all the business leading up to it was altered and it was different. But the death of Bjorn's death still happened. So I think we're operating in it can change.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we were talking about this last week, Aaron, but like how obviously every single thing is different on how they approach time travel or seeing the future, and this is in the same universe as Endgame, and we know the answer there.
I was wondering about that. I was like, what rules exactly are we playing by? Because I love the MCU. We host a whole podcast about it for a long time. But the rules, they ain't set. There ain't no consistent set of rules. And I don't particularly care. I know some people really do. But as soon as they said that, I'm like, do they mean like this episode? Do they mean by the end of the season? Do they just like going to dangle this out in front of us for a while? Like what happens? So it was a little bizarre to be like, well, and they've already changed some things and things still didn't save anybody. So I'm like, even if we do, it's just going to be like, instead of him wearing a yellow shirt, it'll be green and he's still like, whatever. Like I was so scared when he went down into the hole during this episode and homeboy broke out. I was like, oh no, the prophecy we heard about 15 minutes ago, that's not good. But then he was fine.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think it's we'll see.
Somebody's gonna die, I guess.
We'll see, or not. Maybe there'll be a big wedding.
That's what Lincoln said.
So
why don't you just tell me? You clearly don't mind telling me what's gonna happen.
All right, let's see. Okay, Guerra escapes because they really didn't think this plan through of putting this man on the ship. He crashes the ship, which is like I like this whole sequence.
Me too.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Right.
I was like, yeah, you put the guy in the hole, but in the special room, but yeah, I didn't think about telekinetically vibrating a lock and then telekinetically crashing a plane. It's hardcore.
Yeah. And then he used Coulson's hand against him.
Yes,
pretty cool.
That was sick. Yeah.
And then like you think that he's gonna fight May again, but nope, he just takes them down that plane. And then Aaron, what do you think about this kind of sequence? Because I think it is one of the cooler parts of the episode.
It is really, really cool. I was like, man, what a ridiculously overpowered like power set, and also a hilarious way to write a character that's that powerful where we don't have to go above and beyond insanely with the budget. I was like, this is a very shrewd piece of writing to have like this power set. And it is just cool. I laughed. I was like, the most dangerous thing he had besides the plane was the seatbelt. Like that was the real MVP of the entire sequence, because it's like you would think it'd be a gun or that club that he got or whatever. And it's like, no. It's this safety device. That's what you need to worry about this entire time. So that was really cool. And I love the I don't have to fight you. I'm gonna lose. You're Ming-Na Wen. I'm just gonna land this motherfucker for real. You know what I mean? It made me laugh very hard. I was like, that is true. It's like I don't need to do any of that. We don't have to fight. I don't have to do that.
Yeah, that was cool. And Ming is fucked up. She's sending out that radio message for help, and she got throttled.
Yeah.
I do like this was now an exciting moment for comic readers where Lincoln was like, it's time to call in the Secret Warriors. Now I will admit I have not read the Secret Warriors. Have you read them, Aaron?
They've done this a couple of times, so I'm guessing that it's the 2000s one where they're just like a covert ops team that Fury brings in to do stuff that the regular quote unquote Avengers cannot do. So it thematically fits, and of course it's a thing that we haven't done on the big screen. So they're like, do whatever you want. We're not doing anything with that. You go right ahead. And it's like a nice carrot for everything. I remember hearing about this at the time, being like, they're gonna do this on TV? How you gonna do this on
Nah.
TV?
Yeah.
And where does Spider-Man go?
I'm trying to get somebody from from the show next week because I always that's like kind of the goal. But now I'm thinking, since the guest that I did have backed out, who would be a good guest for next week?
Jenna.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I might be texting Jenna after this because I really do think that next week is we need a comics expert.
Professor, bring her in.
So, yeah, I think next week is definitely calls for some comics experting. And then we had the post-credit scene, which was just kind of like a nothing burger of Malik and Ward being like, "You have nothing else to fear," and then Malik's still thinking about his own death.
Yeah, he's sad Malik.
Sad,
But it's good.
Yeah.
We're getting into new emotional, psychological territory for a villain.
Yeah, that's cool. But I do feel like the post-credit scenes, these last chunk of episodes have been kind of like, it's like they're like, we got to have a post-credit scene.
Yeah. The one from last week was especially egregious. I am excited that Malik's still kicking.
Yeah. Aaron, any final thoughts about this episode that you did not get to throw out?
Let me think here. Excuse me.
Bless you.
I don't know. Like, I feel slightly bad for his daughter, but not completely. This poor girl, she just like got lied to all her life and then got like infinity trained in front of her dad. It's not ideal. And then I did laugh because I like unintentionally because my brain is diseased when he was like, "We're gonna be together forever." That's right. 42 seasons of adventures, Morty. I killed your daughter, and now we're gonna keep doing this for the rest of the time. And I was like, I hate, and like Ward stinks so bad, and it made me think back to there was a Will, what's his deal when I was on here last time when Tony didn't know, and to see him fully converted, like, yo, this guy sucks. It's a delight. It's kind of a delight.
Good.
Yeah. Tony, who's your MVP of this episode?
Oh shit.
Were we doing MVPs last time?
Oh yeah. Maybe not.
You did.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to go with Mark Dacascos just because I got to see him fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think it's like I could say Powers just because it's like he's getting some dynamic shit to do that we haven't seen from this character yet. But Dacascos, it was a Mark Dacascos showcase. I'm into it. I
was gonna give it to Mark and Ming tie just for their fight.
Great fight.
I think that's just Aaron, do you have a same answer, different answer? You can give it to that seatbelt if you want to.
Just the seatbelt. No. I was gonna say Mark too, because like the fight sequence when they got locked in there, I did go fight, like, and it was good. I was very happy about that.
Oh, great, love it. Aaron, before we kick Tony out.
Oh, are we still doing that?
Yeah, we're kicking you out.
Yeah, is that like a thing we still do on the show?
Yeah.
To protect me from spoilers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, hilarious. Tell the people where they can find you. Where can they find Free Space? I think they probably know about Face Hero, but you can plug it to anyway.
Oh yeah, if you haven't got enough of this weird little dynamic me and Jamie have, we have an entire another hour of it with Brandon Davis and Jenna Anderson over on BD's YouTube channel. At How to Watch Free TV is where you can see me doing Free Space, the Free TV podcast. We have an episode I'm editing with Dana that comes out because I just borrow all of Jamie and Tony's old guests. It's what we do. It's how we cut costs over at Free Space, honestly. But yeah, we did that. And then I also have I actually use YouTube now. So I do small YouTube essays about things. And this week's was about like Tubi getting in a ChatGPT client and why I'm like, that's probably not a good idea because, for reasons. Go watch it and find out. It's at How to Watch Free TV.
Yes, it's great. And I've been on there talking about stuff.
You have?
Me too.
But Tony more than me, actually. Tony
It's
has been
true.
the whole episode. I just got a little video to talk about pancakes.
I famously took a shit on Aaron's podcast because Aaron was like, "Tony, you love TV. Let's talk about TV." And I said, "Fuck TV. Here's some weird movies I want to mention."
As if you don't
One of my
have
favorite clips.
TV podcast.
That was a great.
He was like, "Yo, this whole thing is a fraud. I don't like any of this.
I'm rewriting all your bullshit."
Tony, say your thank yous.
Thank you to Stephanie at Eclectic Muses on socials for doing our artwork. Thank you to Ryan Mira of Yellow Pills at Yellow Pills Music on Instagram for doing our theme music. Thank you to our producer Maria. Thank you, producer Maria.
You're welcome.
There she is.
And thank you to Aaron. Always so great to have you.
All right, get the fuck out.
All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out. I'm leaving the room. Like it matters. Take my
Oh, we
damn.
lost Aaron.
Oh, Aaron left. Wait, no, come back.
Um,
Back.
Okay, well, I don't know if Aaron thought we were done. Aaron's
No.
back. Okay.
No.
Okay.
You told Tony to get out, and you lost me too, because I was like, oh no, we've both been banished.
We don't want that. People don't want to hear me just talking. I'm not Gabby. I can't just have a solo podcast. I need somebody to talk to. God, she's funny though. Okay, so funny that Tony thinks I was being serious. Obviously, Daisy and Lincoln don't get married. Like he was so upset. But like Lincoln is going to die in a few episodes, so he'll know in a few weeks that I was not being truthful. He got so mad.
I need to tune in for the episode where he realizes that he had that crash out for no reason. I need to be in the comments for that.
Like, you should trust me by now, man. Like, come on. I know what I'm doing. Let's go. I am excited to be done with this season. But no, I just can't wait for September. I just can't wait to start season 4. And Tony's such a Ghost Rider fan, and he does already know that Ghost Rider's coming, but I think he's gonna really love Gabriel's portrayal of Robbie Reyes. So I'm like so hyped. But one thing I want to talk about that like has been in my notes that I've like really been thinking about is I can't remember if you know this or remember this, but Nathaniel Malik, Gideon's brother, becomes like a huge villain of the final season. Like kind of like the last big like person that they fight, and it's really interesting because he's a different actor, and it's just like so different than this version of Nathaniel. It's an alternate universe version. So but it is like it was so funny hearing Ward. Oh my god, it's called Tony Ward. Never tell him I did that. Never repeat that. We're taking that to the grave. I can't believe I just did that. Wow, I need to be put in timeout. Tony said that he like made a comment about how like I don't care about Malik's brother. I just be like, oh well, you're gonna have to care about him in a few years.
You will. You'll learn to. It'll be all right.
Whoops. No, I'm gonna tell Tony that because maybe I'm gonna save it for next week though, so he can hear that on air that I accidentally called him Ward. Oh boy. Anything about this episode that you watched that made you think of the future? Anything that you were like, oh yeah, this thing's gonna happen?
I mean, when they're having the conversation where Lincoln like, you can't just show me this, only the good side of you, blah blah blah, and those moments, I'm like, this is so dirty. This poor boy. They're leaving him right into the slot. This is so bad. No, I was like, ooh, even though it admittedly not the greatest episode for him, but still, I was like, yikes. They were leaving breadcrumbs, and we're all just too worried about, him having a vehicular manslaughter charge to really pay attention. It's unfortunate.
That's kind of the thing, though, I think, is that like, okay, we know that somebody on the team is going to die. And I think if you asked most people, like, okay, who on the team would you pick to die? Lincoln. Like, I don't want any of the other, like, if I have to pick somebody, it's like, it's not going to be Fitzsimmons or Mac or May. Like, like, what do you mean?
He got spiritual. Is it the red shirts that die in Star Trek all the time?
Yeah.
He got spiritual red shirt energy, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's just not. When folks listen to me on New Rockstars, Gina and I really went deep on just how exciting it was that Daisy and Sousa end up together. Like that was we really took a lot of time to focus on that. So listen, it's just the better romance. What can we say? Yeah, that was really my only note for Tony Leaves the Room was like, we got to talk about Nathaniel Malik's future. I don't know why they recast him. I think probably just because what they were taking with the direction with the character. I don't know if that other actor was maybe right. Maybe they wanted him to be a different age. I kind of was similarly aged. I'm not sure. But when we get to it in 2030, we can talk about it then. Oh, I know. Take it in.
I'm hoping he feels better. Next episode's a little bit more exciting. There's a lot more other stuff to look forward to than this one. I was like, oh, I feel so sad. Tony, you're so close to it being a little bit better for you, but you just don't know.
I know it is, but also I feel like if I'm not mistaken, because again I don't know a lot about Secret Warriors, is like I think people ultimately were disappointed because
Yeah.
they don't do it. It's the only time we get them. Like it's the last time we see Joey. You know, Yo-Yo obviously sticks around, but like it definitely isn't what people Secret Warrior comics fans necessarily
Oh
wanted.
yeah.
Well, hopefully, like if we maybe we'll be texting Jenna. Maybe Jenna will be on next week. Professor Jenna. Speaking of, just a reminder, we are not going to be having a show next Sunday. Keep an eye out on Instagram for when our next podcast is going to be. As Tony and I enjoy time back home in Florida. Got another wedding. Aaron knows I'm always going to weddings. I'm constantly at a
Literally.
wedding. Aaron, any final goodbyes to say?
Oh man, thank you guys so much. I love your community. They're all so excited about the show and knowledgeable about the show. Like I forget who, but you are right. Like it was that first season of Doctor Who. I completely forgot. There's not enough episodes about landmines for me to be out here screwing that up. So thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm just excited. This is going to be so interesting. You're heading into like much more fertile territory for Tony. He's gotten like off. We're like right at the end of the training wheels, and then now stuff's about to start like hitting the fan for real.
He's so close to being level 4. Can't wait for it. Thank you again to everybody in the chat and to and all of the people that listen later. Sometimes I forget to thank our later listeners, and I want you to know that I appreciate you just as much as I appreciate the people who join us live. And we will see you sometime between April 22nd and April 25th. Goodbye.